I've been going really hard preparing for going into cards full time. And as a way of doing that, I've been buying a lot lately. I just had a big show that I do on 3 times a year, and it was all Pokemon. And I bought pretty hard, considering the fact that I didn't sell a lot. Actually, I pretty much bought the same way that I normally do. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys some of the stuff that I've been picking up and how I decide what goes where when I'm trying to sell it. I actually have 2 avenues for selling as it is right now. I sell in-person card shows and I sell on eBay. Those are my 2 bread and butters for selling my inventory. And when you have that, you need to make a decision on what goes where. I used to cross list and take some of my higher end eBay inventory to card shows, but I have since changed that. It's made it a lot simpler to keep them separate. So now I'm making decisions on what goes where, and I'm going to share with you some of my pickups and the reason why I'm deciding to do what I'm doing. But before I get into that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Dell. I sling cardboard to feed my kids. I don't know, that might be my new intro. My name's Dell. I sell cardboard for a living, and I want you to go along with me on my journey, and I'll teach you tips and tricks along the way, and I'll share my journey with you so you can see and learn from my experience as I'm going. I just recently got into this full time, and I'm really excited to share my journey with you guys. If that sounds like something that you would like to follow along with, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep rolling along. All right, so really where I got started was with sports. I was a sports guy for a long time, and within the last couple years have gotten into Pokemon. My kids really brought me along on the journey for Pokemon. I used to buy packs for my son, when he was turning of age, I guess. He was really big into Pokemon just because I was buying sports cards and I wanted something for him to rip along with me. So he got into it, and along the journey, I decided that I started enjoying it as well, and now I sell it as well, and I have a personal collection. I collect Alakazam. It's been a while ago, but we'll say recently, picked up my chase card, which is from Fates Collide. It is the Alakazam with the Umbreon and Latios, and it is sweet, and I'm glad that's in my collection. That was my chase card. Now I have to choose a new Alakazam chase card, and there's a lot to choose from. Anyways, but before we get into Pokemon, let's go ahead. As I said, I started with sports, and I'll show you what I've been picking up and where it's going to be going. We'll start with a pickup from DC Sports. This is split up into a couple of different areas. It's just what I had handy. So this was a single lot along with a few other cards. I buy from DC Sports Cards. Mainly what I'm looking for is gold refractors and gold numbered 10, just anything gold. That's what I personally love to collect, and I know a lot of people are the same way, and it doesn't have to be the low number to 10 or number to 50. There are a lot of other different parallels out there, which I'll show you a PC card that I picked up that will be going in there. Oh, Marvin's making an appearance. Anyways, that is a higher numbered gold, and people still love to collect golds, so I'm really looking for golds when I'm sniping on DC Sports Cards. But anyways, we'll start with a couple of cards here. This is a gold out of 10, Pat Bryant, and some of these have stickers already. We got a Eric Iomanner. And the ones that are stickered are actually going to my card show. Got a Lenora Sellers. I'm buying his stuff right now, hoping that he gets a little bit of hype going into the season as far as draft prospecting. I don't do that very often, but I try to put in snipe bids on DC Sports, and sometimes I get prices under what the most recent comps are. So I will play with a little bit of prospecting as I'm going, if I'm doing that. Anyways, that's going to go on eBay. So when I go to card shows, I know that the bigger names or the golds or whatever will perform in a showcase. Now, like him, he is not super well known around me, and this is a good candidate to go online. So I will put this on eBay. Same with these next two cards. This is a Kurt Warner gold, old card that I picked up. It's numbered to 99. Now Kurt Warner is from my neck of the woods. He went to school in Iowa. He went to school at the University of Northern Iowa. But there's not a huge collector base around me, so this will go on eBay as well. And then same thing here. This is a gold out of 10, but Doug Martin. He's an old name. Most people don't know him. I'm searching for a collector for this piece, and there's not going to be any collectors for Doug Martin around me, so that will go on eBay as well. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the couple of PC cards that I got that are gold that I'm talking about, where you can get gold cards that are higher numbered. So what is this, out of $4.99? Yeah, $4.99. And this is just a cheap little card. It says rookie card, but it's going to look really nice in my binder, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I also picked up a Devon Achane. I will be collecting the gold versions of these, probably true golds. I don't know what I'll do with the geometric. It just was a good price, or at least I thought it was. So I want to get the true golds of my players. Anyways, those were a couple of golds that I picked up. And then this is also from DC Sports. I picked up a LeBron. I collect LeBron numbered cards. Yeah, mostly his older stuff, but when I find a cheap numbered card from his modern stuff now, I'll go ahead and pick it up. And then I am doing a little prospecting again, which is something I normally don't do, but Malik Willis is the Dolphins' new quarterback, and I think he's going to play really well. And even if he doesn't, I'm okay collecting it, so I like to buy things that I'm okay with holding on to. So I've been buying some of his rookie stuff that is pretty reasonably priced. This is a Red Flood. I love secondary color matches, even though he's not in a Dolphins jersey. I think that'll be a sweet card for somebody to display. I'll probably display it if he plays really well. And then if he plays really, really well, I have a bunch of his stuff that I'm willing to sell, and that would probably be one of them. And then a Blue Ice, My House. A really sweet green prism scope, numbered 75. It was actually damaged and it was disclosed. Let's see if you could see it. But it was a reasonably priced card because of that. It's got a little bit of damage here at the bottom. And then a sweet RPA, which will probably most certainly be staying in my collection. His rookie college stuff is what I will collect. If he turns into something with the Dolphins, I'll collect his Dolphins stuff and his college stuff for rookie stuff. All right, let's move away from that right now. Let's move away from sports. Let's move into some of the pickups that I made at this card show that I just had, which is strictly a Pokemon show, TCG show. And I'll explain why these are going to be going into most likely my showcase. And, well, actually I got a couple in here that will probably be going into eBay as well. But anyways, I'll tell you the difference. Right here, this wasn't actually from the card show, but I wanted to show it to you. So this is a sealed copy of this Umbreon, and I am going to sell this in person because it's sealed, and I like to scan my cards. I use a penny sleeve, and I have a scanner that I use, and this will not scan because it will scratch the paper, the plastic around it, and it just won't go through the scanner. So that will be a good card show inventory. All right, next up. So I have some prices here. I'll show you what I picked up. And a lot of this stuff also, if it's higher dollar value, I will be evaluating it to see if it's something that I want to send in for grading. And some of this stuff will not go into grading just because PSA is shut down on the lower tier service levels. So I'll have to make a decision on if I want to hang on to it for a while or not. But let's go ahead and show these. These are really sweet. So I started with a $70 pickup here. This is some mid-era stuff. Yeah, so, see, I think this might end up into my PC. I am on a Palkia and Dialga kick right now, and I think these all look really sweet together. I will show you these, and then I got another one too. So I think these look pretty awesome. And I'm going to evaluate those for grading and decide whether I want to send those in. I'll show them off again. I think those are such sweet cards, GXs. And then I also picked up, as again, I collect golds, Mysterious Treasure. So that collection, I pretty much collect Alakazam, but I don't know. Palkia and Dialga are speaking to me right now, so maybe that's why I picked them up. We got this lot here, which I had $250 plus trade. I did a little trade in as well, and yeah, this is a sweet collection. We got Dragapult, which is actually my son. He collects Dragapult, so I might end up giving that to him for his collection. We'll see. Raichu, tag team. Tag teams always do really well. This is stuff. Another tag team here. What is it? Greninja and Zoroark. Super sweet. I love the rainbows. People are low on the rainbows. I like them. Here's Palkia again. And Sweet Ho-Oh. So that stuff will be looked at to see if it's going in for grading. Otherwise, that would be all stuff that goes into my showcases. As far as Pokemon goes, my higher end stuff goes into showcases. My lower end stuff, I have to make a decision on whether it goes in or not. And as of right now, I have enough inventory in the backlog for my eBay store that I don't necessarily have to put anything into my eBay scanning priority. So most of my stuff is going to be going in to showcases. All right, let's move on to another collection. This is a $170 purchase. I can't pronounce this. Cobalion. I have the other version of this card. There's a green version, and these are some of the first full art cards. And so it goes like right here, and they're pointing at each other, and I think it's gonna look awesome inside the showcase. It's got a little bit of play to it, but that's okay. I'll mark it down, and it's a sweet card. Draw the eye in. Zorora, I love this. I love these. I think it's Crown Zenith. Pretty sure this is Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith was a great set, man. And a Charizard. Okay, this next lot is a $45 lot, and this is actually I might have pulled a couple out of these. I had some other pickups that ended up in the showcases at the show, but these two cards, yes. So yep. So I will evaluate these for grading, and if they're not grade worthy, they will be going on my eBay store, and that's because they are Japanese. And Japanese does not do super well for me in my showcases at local card shows or even at the big show. So I will most likely be putting those on my eBay store. Big pickup here. Let's see, I've got $270 on this. I think I had trade on it as well. I'll save the bigger card for the later part. So we got some low-end stuff. This stuff will probably go on to my eBay store. I have a lot of this in my binder already, so that'll be good extra stuff. If I get duplicates, a lot of times I'll put it on my eBay store. And then the big part of that was a Greninja, and I am hoping that this is a clean copy that I can send in for grading. Pretty excited either way to put it into the showcase, even if it isn't a 10. I say clean. If there's a tiny speck of white corner, it's still near mint, but I'm hoping for a 10 on it, and if it's a 10, then I'll send it in a PSA. If it gets a 9, with Pokemon, I don't really send it in unless it's like mid-era or vintage. And then we'll wrap up my Pokemon with another fairly large one. It's $110 plus trade. And I picked up 3 cards, and 2 of them I'm hoping will be pretty big. This is a sweet card. What is that? Dragale? I can't pronounce half of them. And a Zygarde. And a sweet Kangaskhan. I love this card. But these are, I'm hoping those are going to be clean to send into PSA. That is going to wrap up the Pokemon section. And we'll go back into sports, and I will explain some of this pickup. Let's see, I got a Myles Garrett, hot name, going into the showcase. He just got traded, so his stuff is hot. Otherwise, this would normally go into my showcases, or excuse me, my eBay store. Lower numbered off guy, like a defensive guy, typically doesn't do super well at the shows, but with him being a hot name, there's a chance that it will. Then I have a huge Ohtani lot that I just picked up from my buddy Shane, and I am excited. He's been buying a lot of Ohtani stuff, and he gives me a pick if it doesn't. So he sends me stuff to look at to grade, and sends his 9s and 10s in, and then I get the opportunity to buy this stuff that is not 9s and 10s. And it does well at card shows. It's still near mint. If it's damaged, which I bought a couple of damaged cards, I actually disclose that on my stickers. So I let I'm up front with everybody, and it just helps everybody move along. And that way you build trust with people. And building trust is the biggest thing in this industry. You build relationships, and they turn into long-term benefit for both parties. Like I was telling you about Shane, this guy that I buy these cards from. I grade his stuff for him. I give him liquidity by buying what is left over, and it works out for both of us. We built a really good friendship, and most of my card buying comes from relationships. I do card shows. I have regular buyers and regular sellers, and they bring stuff to me for me to buy on a regular basis. And I have online guys that I'm friends with that I get a lot of my purchases from as well. And for the most part, I don't really have to, or up to this point, haven't had to really go out and seek it. I let it come to me, and it's super nice to be able to have that. Now, there are times where I go on Facebook Marketplace and I'll go search for collections and stuff like that. But as of now, this has been my major sourcing is coming from just prior relationships that I made along the way. Anyways, let's go ahead and show these Shoheis off. I got a few rookies. This is a good stuff, man. It's all stickered, and it will be going into my showcase. I like to use these one touches. It really pops on anything that's over $50. And this is a really cool. It's like Topps stole the design from Panini. I think they had a lot of that going on. This is not an all aces. This is an aces, and it's like a knockoff version of the all aces. And it's not really knockoff because they came up with it first. Another sweet Panini version, Fireworks. This is a rookie card, Fire. A couple lower end ones as well. I like having low end stuff too. All of this stuff, if it doesn't sell in the showcases, eventually will go on my eBay store as well. All right, now let me show you an example of buying damaged cards. So I did this evaluation for him, and there were a couple of cards that were creased, and I ended up buying, let's see, 1 or 2 of them, I can't remember. And I wrote right on the top that it is creased. So I let people know that there is an issue with this card. This is like $200 card. So I cut it in half, and when I bought it, and also when I am selling it, it gives somebody an opportunity to collect this really sweet card, even though it's damaged. And you'll avoid the flippers as well. So like this will be in the showcase, and if somebody wants to pick up a sweet card for their collection, this is a really good opportunity to do it, where you can buy it for half price. Then a couple of lower end ones here. Lower, $50. That's not low, but and then oh yeah, here's the other one. Here, so I got a regular version. This is a clean card. It's not a 10, but still a really good card. And this one is a creased one. It is creased on the back, so 50% off. And we'll end on Shohei's with an all etch logo fractor. Really cool card. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it. It'll look cool in the showcase. All right, let's finish up here. This video's getting pretty long, but we're gonna finish up with some lower end stuff. Oh, I got some other stuff I didn't mean to pull. Anyways, more from my buddy. This is all stuff that came. Yamamoto, hot names, Ellie De La Cruz. I had that Judge in there too. Hot baseball names that will be going into my showcase. Oh, and this didn't come from him, but this is a sweet card. This is the type of stuff that I like to collect. Late 90s, early 2000s refractors. Alright guys, longer video. I apologize, but hopefully you guys picked up some knowledge along the way. I'm trying to make content on a daily basis again. I want to, now that I am full-time into cards, I should have a little bit more time to hash this out and make some videos and keep you guys in the loop on what I've got going on and teach you along the way. Alright, that is going to do it. If you could, on your way out, hit the like button, subscribe, catch me for more videos in the future, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.